And then I'm trying to think of what I should do here, because I wasn't planning on the ribbon. The ribbon is half blue, half yellow. So, because I was planning on just doing the ribbon all yellow, which is not going to work. So I'm thinking what we'll do is maybe I'll go right here. I get this, and then maybe we'll just transition it into blue. I didn't think of that when I was doing this ribbon. So I'm just going right around. I'm taking my edge of my brush, just the tip of my brush, and kind of keeping it lined up with the curve, getting some drag. So just going right here, curving, just like so. There we go. I'll kind of just do a light brush right through here. And we'll come back over here. Alright. I have to grab some more yellow. Okay. Alright. We'll grab our edge here. I think I was good with the sunflowers, but I will double check while I'm thinking about it. Okay. Nope, I missed this section. Just getting the edges here. Just makes it a little bit cleaner, if you can see. Okay. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is we'll just grab a little bit of yellow here, do one quick coat on our sunflower. Not worry too much about the edges because, like I said, we're going to be shading a little bit with those. Alright, oops, here we go. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of the normal yellow, go in with the, the Empire Gold, sorry. Couldn't think about it, the name of it there for a second. And I'm just kind of going right around the edge here. Okay. And we're just kind of creating some depth with our flower. Oops, that went a little excessive. Guess I should pay attention to what's on my brush. Alright, let's flip this edge there. We're going to do these little loops. Okay. Okay, let me grab just a little more here. All right, so we've got that one. We'll go back in, grab some yellow here, and we'll do this one next. It is easier to work with shading when your paint is wet, kind of why I'm doing it this way. All right, a little bit more. Almost there. Okay, so just leaving this on my brush, I'm going to just grab some of the crocus yellow, and we're going to just hit just a little bit of our sunflower, kind of lighten it up here. And I'm just kind of getting the center of the petals here. Okay. Okay. Coming in here, grabbing these ones as well. So I'm just kind of pushing my brush back, using the point as the edge, but then using the back part to kind of bring it through, okay? I'm going to kind of blend these ones out a little bit more. I'm not loving how this one went. There we go. There we go. So you guys can kind of see what that looks like now. Okay. All right, I'm going to leave my yellows because we're going to be using them for our pumpkin. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to grab my other plate here. This is dry paint. I'm going to wait on our greens and our browns, and we're going to go into doing our blues. Let's go. Okay. Move the yellow over here a little bit. Scoot myself over just a little. Okay. I forgot Mediterranean is a little runny. Okay. I'm going to do Ultra next. Okay. This is the navy blue. We're going to do Lost Lagoon. And then we'll use the surfboard right here. All right. So this is going to get a little messy and then it will end up turning out pretty again. Kind of same thing like we did with Susan's. I'm going to get my brush wet and I dropped my towel here. All right. So what I think I'm going to do is, I think with the Mediterranean, I'm going to kind of go in with this first. And we're going to kind of use this as our base. So I probably should have grabbed more. And Mediterranean is one that just has amazing coverage. Even though it's all running. I'll put some right here. Alright, let me get that there. The edge of our pumpkin here. Alright. Clean up our edge here. Alright, I'm just going to try and be as gentle as I can, going around our sunflowers and leaves. Okay. Trying to be careful not to hit this leaf right here. So I'm just using the point of my brush to these leaves. Okay. Grabbing my edge there. Grabbing there. Same here. Okay. Of our pumpkin here. And then I'm going right around our ribbon here. Okay. Let's get the center here of our ribbon. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pull some of our yellow in here. I'm trying to avoid too much of it going green on us. But we'll work on that and getting that transitioned in so it looks good. I'll probably end up actually using some surfboard too, because it has that greenish to it, but still in the blue. Okay, so now that we've got the Mediterranean, I'm gonna start just working in different colors, okay? So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go with the dark first, and I'm just gonna kind of randomly right now put our dark in. And this is where I said the process gets a little messy. Okay, and then since I'm right here, might as well grab our blue here. And we'll grab our pumpkin here. All right. Grabbing our ribbon here. This is that navy blue. That's pretty. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is we'll go in with the ultra blue next. And we're going to kind of mix these in together. So we kind of got some like paint swatch kind of stuff going on here. Gets a little messy, but it really does kind of come together at the end. Be a little careful around this pumpkin. Go right here as well. Okay. Let's throw some over here. And we're going to kind of do our ribbon as well. Okay. And then I'm going to pick up some more of our Mediterranean blue, the one that we used as our base coat. And I'm just going to throw a little bit more back in to kind of lighten up some of the dark areas that we had here. And like I said, it's kind of a building process. So I forgot we didn't get some here. This ultra. Okay. And like I said, I'm not changing my brush at all while we're doing this. Okay, so now I'm going to go into Lost Lagoon. And we're going to start adding some more of the Lost Lagoon in. We're going to kind of go nice and smooth here and then kind of blend it. Okay. Right here as well. Okay, let's go down in here just a little. Same here. right. Trusting the process, I promise it will start really coming together soon. All right, we're gonna go right here. Okay. Let's put just a little here. Okay. And then I am gonna move this back and forth there. Kind of blend. There we go. All right. Then going back, we're gonna go in with our surfboard next. And the surfboard, we're just kind of gonna add just a little here. Okay. Okay, there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up some water on my brush here. And we're going to now kind of water paint and blend these in. Now that they're kind of drying just a little bit. Okay, so we're just kind of getting around. And then I'm going to start bringing my strokes back and forth, up and down here. Okay. Grabbing some more water. All right. I'm going to just add a little bit right there of our lighter. I think we need just a little more lightness in here, so I'm just going to add a little light. Then like I said, you're going to have to be careful because you don't want to show your brush strokes too much, but there we go. All right, I'm loving how this looks. If you guys can see, that kind of cool. So same here, we're going to kind of go in here with our pumpkin. Just tip of my, there we go. Okay, grabbing just a little more water here. Alright, I'm going to grab, actually, I'm going to leave that. I think I like that. Well, let me just grab a little bit of the lighter here. Not much though. Okay, so we are going to call that. I'm going to say we are good. Next thing that I'm going to do is we are going to go into our pumpkin. I'm thinking for our pumpkin, I think we're going to do Ultra Blue as our base. And even though we went over on this pumpkin, we can still fix it because we'll get the definition back. Okay. Going around our sunflowers here. Okay, let me grab just a little more ultra blue. Okay. So I'm just kind of slowly working this up into my pumpkin here. Okay. Okay. Bringing these into our petals here. Just kind of going around our flowers and our leaves. Kind of giving us a nice little border. All right. Let me grab our edge here. All right, I'm gonna just smooth that out. Okay, and then I'm gonna come in here, right around our ribbon edges here. Okay. Grab a little bit more on my edge here. There we go. All right. And then just pulling this down in. Move our ultra here. Come on. Sorry, my phone is driving me nuts. Okay. Let me pull this right here. All right. Just smooth this out. Use there and there. All right. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in on our dry side here, do one more coat. This ultra blue is one that needs a little more coatage. I really love the color. I just hate the coverage on this one, and this one is actually a Delta, so you all know how much I like my Deltas, but I just was not super impressed with this one. Okay, I'm gonna just clean that edge up there. Okay, let's grab some more Ultra here. I'm kind of trying to follow the pumpkin curvature too. That helps with keeping your coverage better too. What I'm going to do now, still keeping the Ultra Blue on, I got just a little bit of water on my brush. I'm going to grab the navy blue and the Ultra Blue. We're going to kind of move them back together, and I'm going to go ahead and we're going to work from the inside and work out. So I'm going to just go right here with our curvature here, right here with that one. Same thing here. And a little more. Trying to be mindful of our ribbon. Okay. And then I'm just going to kind of blend a little bit up into the ribbon there. Okay, go on this side here. Go right through here. There we go. One more time. Let's go just a little bit more of that water. I'm going to have to grab just a little more paint here. Just going to clean that back up here. There we go. Okay, so the pumpkins are starting to come together, if you can see. Instead of all blue blobs, we're starting to get some definition. This will get cleaned up and you're going to start seeing it. I'm going to add some yellow and then the gold, and you'll start pulling a little bit more definition as well. Okay, so next thing that I'm going to do is we're going to go with our Ultra here. Actually, let's clean that out since we have quite a bit of the darker. I'm going to go with the Ultra, and I'm going to go in with, trying to think here, yeah, we'll go with the Lost Lagoon. So Ultra and Lost Lagoon. We're going to go right here. I'm going to grab just a little bit of water here. Okay. And I'm just going to pull that in here. Not sure why we're getting the till up at the top with our brush. Okay. And right here. Okay, let's grab it right here. We're going to grab our other side, bring that in. Okay. Okay. So I'll trick in on the edge and then the Lost Lagoon on the other side. We're going to go right here, bring that down. Isn't this pumpkin gorgeous? I'm loving these colors. Okay, so we're getting there. All right, so now what we're gonna do, clean off our brush again. We're gonna grab the Tahiti and the surfboard, or I'm sorry, Lost Lagoon and the surfboard. I have another color that's very similar to this, that's Tahiti. It's just a little lighter, and I debated on using that one. Okay, and I'm gonna come back in and we'll fix our navy blue edge there. Since that does get sometimes messed up. Go just some more water. Okay, same thing here. Okay. Alright. Okay. So then right here, I'm just gonna kind of lightly blend our center here, just to kind of give us some shading, really get that blended in. Okay, like I said, I'm going to just grab a little bit of our navy. I'm going to throw a little bit of water here, and I'm just going to clean up our edges. Up at the top of our pumpkin here. Okay, same thing here. Okay, so there is our pumpkins. Let's work a little bit on our ribbon here. I'm going to grab some more of our navy here. Okay. And then I'm going to pull this up just right through here. Going right around our edge here of our yellow. Okay. Alright. Okay. Let's grab some of our ultra here. And we're going to just pull these together here. Oops. got a little too much blue here. Alright. Okay, bring back the navy. And kind of blend those back in together. Okay. Actually, I'm going to kind of bring this navy, I think, up just a little more. I don't want it to fade clear back here. Okay. Let's grab the Ultra now. Okay. Grab right here too, this darker thing on my brush. Okay. Okay, and then like I said, we're gonna go in right here, like we did before. And just a little bit of the surfboard. There we go. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I just got my brush just very lightly wet, and we'll pull this just a little. And then I'll come back with our yellow and finish that up. But before I do, we'll get the rest of our blue done. Which we'll do our arrows here. Or actually, we'll do our blending real quick for our mums. So I've got just a little bit of white I put down. Yeah, this should work. Okay, so with the blue, what I'm thinking we'll do is I'm going to go in with the Ultra Blue here. And then grab white down at the bottom, kind of moving back and forth. And we're just kind of get just a little bit of an edge on these. And when we do these, it's nice to get, you want to work from the outer edge to the inner. So just getting a little bit of drag here, so we're going to clean that up, grab some water. Just kind of going right through here. Getting your little bumps here. Grabbing some white. There we go. Okay. And grab Ultra here, the white on the back. There we go. Okay. Go right through here. Okay. Let's get this guy right here. Going right around here, getting their last little bit there. And then, like I said, we'll pick up just a little blue here. There we go. All right. We are getting there slowly but surely. All right, I'm going to put our blue to the side for right now. And we're going to come back to our yellow. Okay. Let me grab a new brush since that brush has so much yellow in it. I don't want to bleed it over. All right, we're going to grab some more yellow. Okay, woo. Okay, I just got yellow in my hand. All right, so now we're gonna come in here, clean up our ribbon here as much as we can. I know the blue kind of bled over, but we'll make sure to hide it with our detailing. Okay, this is when you're gonna start seeing this yellow start getting bolder and wanting to pop more. And like I said, we'll kind of blend that in just a little. Okay, yellow done there. And then, like I said, with our pumpkin here, I'm just going to add a little bit of our yellow since our blue has dried. This is going to help us hopefully not get too much green going on in this. Okay, so now I'm just going to barely get my brush wet here. Okay. Alright. Now I'm just going to pick up a little bit of our crocus. This is going to kind of help with pulling some of that green away. Okay. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring back a little bit of our blue here. Grab a little bit of our darker. Trying to not make a green pumpkin. It's kind of hard when you've got blues and yellows going on, but we're going to try our dangdest. Okay. Just grabbing a little bit of that royal blue, or navy blue, sorry. Okay, grabbing just a little ultra. Grabbing a little water here. Okay. I was really worried about this yellow and the pumpkin not going green. Alright, we're going to grab just a little bit of this. We're going to try to keep this yellow. It's not seeming like it wants to work for us though. Alright. Okay, we're just kind of taking a brush, adding some paint, kind of blending it. Is kind of what I'm going with right now. And then throwing a little bit of yellow and praying it doesn't go super green. Just a little bit of yellow there. Some crocus here. Okay, grabbing just a little water. Okay, let's throw just a little over here. We're getting a little more green than I'm wanting, but I've kind of warned that it might happen. Okay. We got a little bit of brush stroke drag there. You guys know I hate, so. Alright, it's coming. We're getting there. We're building it up. Okay, let's grab a little more over here. Okay, let me grab a little more of this. Grab just a little more of the surfboard, maybe. And the Lost Lagoon. It's kind of giving me the better effect of what I'm wanting. So I'm kind of just patting at both ends of my brush there. And then we ended it up adding just a little, maybe, of the navy here. Okay. Okay. Grab just a little of this. I think I got too much of that. There we go. All right. All right. We're giving up. Okay. I'm loving it. I'm thinking it's cool. and get it cleaned up, it will look a ton better. But if I keep playing with it, we're gonna have a green pumpkin. So that is one thing you gotta be careful with. All right, we're gonna just clean this edge up real quick here. With our royal blue. Okay. All right. Let's go into doing our stems next. Or actually, let's finish doing our yellow here. All right. Let me get my liner brush here. Okay, so I'm going to use our crocus yellow here. And half of the heart is yellow, the other half is blue. Same with the ribbon. So I'm going with the lighter crocus on the yellow so that we can see it. Okay. And then the arrows, it's every other arrow is yellow and blue. And this is one of their symbols. Okay. And we also have it on the other ribbon edge here. Oh, this is where I needed to clean up too. Let me grab just a little bit more. This edge got a little messed up here when I was trying to add the yellow and not make a huge green pumpkin, but kind of what we did. Let me grab a heat gun real quick. Okay. Alright, so we're going to do our edge here. Okay. So like I said, we're just using the lighter yellow here just because it's not going to show up as good if we use the other with the blue. Okay. Oh my gosh. What? There's a mess down there, but we'll worry about it later. Okay. Okay, I'm going to grab our blue real quick. And the blue that I'm going to use is the Mediterranean. Okay. Okay, we're going to go right here. And then we're going to go right here. heart. Okay. Same thing here. Just doing the arch of our heart. And then just smoothing out my brush strokes. Right there. All right. Got those done. And let's, since this plate is a hard wreck, we'll go ahead and use this one. Let me actually see if we can touch up a little bit. I know this is the wrong yellow, but we're gonna see if we can use this first. And we're gonna clean that up, and then we'll put the other yellow down. So kind of using this as like a primer. Since we got a lot of bleed through here. Okay. And let's do just a little bit of the yellow here. I'm recording. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is just go over this lighter yellow here, and that should help with hiding our boo-boos. Alright. Okay, I can get right here. Alright. Okay. Alright. We're going to do our raw sienna. And then we're just going to use a little bit of this brown velvet. Okay. And I'm going to use the 3/8 angle brush. Alright. We're going to do our centers here. And this is where we clean up where our yellow was. Alright. Okay. And then we'll get our pumpkin stems. Okay. All right. Okay. And we're going to go right here. Grab our next spot. All right. Okay. Cleaning that up. All right. I'm going to grab our edge here. All right. There you go. Just getting one more quick coat on our stem here. And making sure kind of our edges of our sunflower are covered really well. I'm not too worried about the centers because we're going to add a little bit of glitter to them, and we're putting just a little bit of the dark. Okay, so like I said, we're going to add the dark now. So I've got the dark umber, the dark velvet. Go back and forth here, and I'm just going to go right around. And then, like I said, we're going to add glitter to the inside of this, so I'm not going to worry too much. All right. All right. Okay. Next one. All right. Okay. All right. We're going to grab our stem here. Okay. And then I'm going to kind of put a little line down it. Okay. Same thing again. Okay. And grab here one more time. Okay. There you go. Okay. We've got our medium foliage and then our Irish moss. Irish moss, I'm literally just doing right around the edges, so we're not going to get that out quite yet. Get that 3/8 angle brush again. Okay, and just working in here, grabbing our leaves. So we're just kind of making little loops and bringing back. There we go. Excuse me. Alright. Alright. Alright, we're going to grab the edge here. Okay. Okay. Gonna come back in, just clean up our edge here, and we're gonna go. Okay guys, sorry about that. My husband needed to chat for a minute. Alright, so I'm gonna add the gold in real quick. Or actually, I'm sorry, no, I take that back. We're gonna do our Irish moss green. And grab my liner brush here that we were using. Ooh, we got brushes trying to pop out here. Okay, this one is a Zero Spotter. Alright, and I'm just going to go around our leaves. And then just add in our detail lines, the veins of our leaf here. Okay. Alright. Getting this one here. Thanks, babe. And let's grab right here. go here next. Okay. Just getting the last bit here. Alright. Our edges here. Okay. We've got a little swirl here. I'm going to add the dark over the top of this guy. Okay, maybe. There we go. Alright. I want this to kind of be bigger so that the green will be a little bit lighter, or a little bit smaller. So that's why this is a little bit whiter. Alright, just cleaning up. There we go. And that was the Irish moss. Then I'm going to go back in with our light foliage. Okay. Alright. Okay, got that done. Let's throw in some gold here. And I am not sure where I put those letters. There we go. this here. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm just kind of gonna add some blue or some gold here. Okay, there we go. And then here I'm just going to do a light stripe here. Same on this end. Okay. Alright. Haley, I'm recording. Okay. Right there as well. And then I'm just going to add just some gold highlights on some of the leaves. Okay. Same here. This kind of pulls everything so your eyes kind of follow everywhere. I have to grab some more gold in my cap here. There we go. A little. Alright. Okay, so then here I'm just going to grab these veins. Okay. And then I'm going to grab right here where the center of our stem is. And then this is still just a little wet, so we're trying to be just a little cautious. And there we go. So there's our gold there. And then let me grab just a little more. Put it in my lid here. And I'm just going to quickly go over this since we're going to have glitter on it. Typically you want a darker base coat, but I forgot when it was brown, so we're going to go with this. Okay. Okay, a little bit more. Alright. And let those dry. And we'll get working on our detailing. I'm going to add some black here. Okay. Going back to my zero spotter brush. We add just a little bit of water. Okay. And let's see, I'm gonna try and stay away from the vine for a minute since it's kind of wet. But we'll get right here. Okay. Okay, I'm feeling like our hearts are getting a little bit lost, so I'm going to outline them. I wasn't planning on it, but I'm not liking how we're losing them. So the black is a little bit wet here. Okay. So I'm just going a little bit lighter on my brush, just barely pushing down. There we go. That's what's going to give us that smaller line. Alright, you guys. Highlight and glitter, and we are done. Okay. All right, so that is what we've got so far here. I'm loving it. Let me move our friend over here. Move this plate. All right. And then I just realized I put this on my glitter paper. Okay. All right. Let's grab a brush here and we'll get our glitter going. So Mod Podge, always remember to use a brush that you're not going to care about as much. Alright, we're gonna now remember you want a nice medium coat. You don't want it too thin because it will dry too fast, but you don't want it too thick either. Let's see if we can get this R real quick. Got glitter going on it. Get this G too. Okay. Alright. Okay. Go in with our next. I don't know what is on this brush. It's like some type of string or something. Okay. 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 Excuse me. Okay, we're gonna just shake that on. And let me throw that in there. Okay. Press this in, our glitter into the glue, into our Mod. All right. Okay. I'm actually gonna leave the glitter out just because when I peel off, there's gonna be a ton of glitter shed. Let me get this. Grab my glue here. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to get our glue here. Just a small bead is all we need. Come on. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna go with our D here. Alright. Let's see, we're just gonna add this on here. Okay. And I just put my hand right in that glue. I'm special like that. Okay, come on, glue down. Okay. Okay. Get that I and the G here. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's get our last bit. Maybe. Okay. Alright, let me get this up. Alright. So you guys can see here. We got it all done. Oh, I forgot. I was gonna add glitter down to the sunflower so it pulls your eye all the way down. Grab my Mod Podge brush here. I probably put it away, didn't I? Nope, I didn't. Where is my watch? Okay, I'm losing my mind. Well, goodness. Oh, it's right here. I don't know why I put it there. Right. I'm sure we've got enough here. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. I was trying so hard not to get it all over the table, but I did. Okay. There you go. So now the glitter comes from here all the way down so your eyes catch. So there you go. I'm going to flip it the other way for you guys. There we go. I am so excited with how it turned out. Even though it kind of went a little greeny, I'm kind of loving it. What do y'all think? Let me know how you like it. Downright perfect for Down syndromes. Bye guys.